Scotland's Information Commissioner David Hamilton says that he's astonished at the sheer number of public bodies in our country, and I quote, "There are literally hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of public bodies, and I keep finding new ones." He describes, and again quoting, a hidden and complicated landscape across the public sector. This is not some random person venting on social media. He is the gatekeeper of all state-held information, the ultimate authority in deciding what information is made public. The Information Commissioner can't even work out how many public bodies there are. So if he even can't work out how big the SNP state has become, what chance do the paying public have?
First Minister.
Well, the Government has, over the course of its time in office, reduced the number of public bodies that we inherited, and we also take forward an agenda which ensures that we adequately consult with wider Scotland on the policy questions that we take forward. The Government obviously maintains a stringent approach to the management of public expenditure to ensure that we are constantly challenging to maximise value, and those considerations underpin the budget that I am glad that Parliament passed on Tuesday.
Russell Findlay.
Well, the information told Parliament that he discusses the big state with the Auditor-General for Scotland. Mr Hamilton said that he doesn't, and I'm again quoting, think there's a map that explains it all, and that they play a game called Public Authority Bingo, in which they ask each other, have you heard of this one and have you heard of that one? The Auditor-General and the Information Commissioner, the two most powerful civil servants tasked with keeping the state in check, are hitting a brick wall of SNP secrecy. So will the First Minister give them and all of us a bingo call by shouting out the exact number of public bodies there are in Scotland?
First Minister.
On the 1st of December 2024, there were 131 public bodies in Scotland under our control. In 2007, when the Government came to office, there were 199. So there's the answers that Mr Findlay's looking for. And by the way, as a point of information, I thought Parliament was here to hold the Government to account.
Russell Findlay.
I thought he might come up with the 131 number, but the First Minister, a cursory check would inform him that he's missed out at least another 75 public sector organisations. And it's truly farcical that public servants in charge of information and financial transparency can't get the answers that they and the public deserve. The size of the bloated SNP state is out of control and shrouded in secrecy. This is costing taxpayers a fortune and reducing funding for the front line. The SNP are failing to deliver efficient and effective public services, and this must change. So I'm going to make a suggestion to John Swinney. Will he bring in a credible business leader from outside his government to sort this out?
First Minister.
Well, I take these issues very seriously, and throughout my time as Finance Minister, I would be regularly attacked in this Parliament for setting exacting efficiency standards on public sector budgets on an annual basis, and the result of that was that we released significant value for investment in the public finances. Now, I'm just struggling to remember about the Police Scotland reforms, for example. But the Police Scotland reforms, and I'm going to say this, I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it. Mr Findlay can correct the record, actually. I think the Conservatives opposed us on Police Scotland. They did. Well, my good and dear friend Christine Graham is not for the first time in my life coming to my rescue. The Conservatives opposed the formation of Police Scotland, one of the biggest reforms of the public sector landscape, which delivered £200 million in savings. And what we've been treated to today is the usual hypocrisy from Russell Findlay.
Russell Findlay.
I'm setting out ways to save taxpayers' money, while John Swinney is only ever intent on taking more of it. He's got no respect for public finances. Just take a look at his dismal record. The truth is, they've created far too many talking shops that achieve nothing. They've published 800 plans and strategies which no one reads, and nobody even knows how many SNP state agencies there are, not even the Auditor General and the Information Commissioner. And this year's SNP budget will again hammer working Scots by raising taxes, which this lot will then squander on yet more nonsense. Isn't it basic common sense for John Swinney to start saving taxpayers' money by cutting quangos and funding the front line instead?
Yeah.